Hello everyone. Today, Group 3 will present a case study, Robert I. Sutton, The Weird Rules of Creativity. And let's start with a question. How many of you have ever been in a brainstorming session where the same old ideas just keep getting recycled? Or been part of a team where everyone seems to think exactly the same way? Right? We have all been there. We're told that the key to success is having a clear process, a strong company culture, and a focus on what the customer wants. But what if everything we know about management and fostering innovation is wrong? Today, we are going to explore a powerful and counterintuitive framework for creativity based on the work of Stanford Professor Robert A. Sutton, and we are talking about the weird rules of creativity, and I will hand it over to my friend.
The traditional hiring mantra of seeking a perfect culture fit is a recipe for stagnation, creating an echo chamber that stifles innovation. To build a truly dynamic organization, we must consciously hire for culture add by seeing out individuals who challenge and expand our perspective. This means valuing the slow learners who question established processes, the contrarians who make us uncomfortable by challenging the status quo, and the individuals with diverse, irrelevant skill who spark unexpected connections. We must also embrace the naive newcomer who isn't blinded by a story of what won't work and approaches problems with fresh, unconstrained curiosity. Consider the example: a seasoned tech company accustomed to hiring from top computer science programs decided to hire a former philosophy major and bartender for a product manager role. While this candidate lacked a traditional tech background, their experience in reading nuanced human behavior and facilitating conversation between conflicting personalities provided invaluable. They were the naive newcomer who asked, "But why do users even need to navigate the complex menu?" And the contrarian who challenged the team's core assumptions. This led to a groundbreaking simplified user interface that the internal team, steeped in their own expertise, had never considered, ultimately capturing a new segment of the market. This is the power of hiring the misfit.
So I found the idea of manage by provoking and protecting really interesting because it shows a very different way to see a management. So I think that creativity grows when managers let people express themselves freely, even if they question their boss or make mistakes. Sometimes the best ideas come from people who are not afraid to go against the rules. I also like the idea of rewarding failure and punishment in action because it means that trying and learning are more valuable than staying safe and doing nothing. But however, I believe that it's still really important to keep some limits. So, for example, too much freedom or conflict could lead to confusion, so managers need to give a clear direction first. And finally, for me, this approach really opened my mind and helped me to see innovation in a more open and dynamic way.
Embrace commitment and chaos, the part that doesn't follow logic, timelines, or polite customer feedback. This is where the magic happens, and also where most people bail. The self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe your project will succeed, even when everyone else says it's impossible, that belief becomes fuel. It's not just positive thinking, it's commitment as a superpower. When you're all in, you find workarounds, you rally people, you make luck happen. So if you're working on something wild, believe harder. Your commitment might be the only thing standing between crazy idea and industry-changing breakthrough. Use randomness. What to do if you're stuck? Ask ChatGPT to give you 3 nonsense prompts. Why? Because your brain loves patterns, and when you break them, you unlock new connections. Randomness isn't chaos for chaos sake. It's creative CPR. Try it next time you're staring at a blank screen. You'll be surprised what weirdly brilliant idea shows up. Ignore your customers. Customers are amazing at telling you how to improve what already exists. They can't imagine what doesn't exist yet. If you're building something truly disruptive, say iPhone, Tesla, or Netflix, you're not asking customers what they want. You're showing them what they didn't know they needed. So listen to your users, but don't let them design your future.
Let's take an example. The boring class project. The scenario is you have a standard sociology research paper assignment. The efficiency is approach will be to pick a common topic, write a safe, predictable paper, and get a decent grade. Now, let's apply the strange rules of creativity. You can hire slow learners. Instead of working with your usual friends, your partner with an art major who knows nothing about sociology, a computer science student who thinks differently, and a quiet person who always asks weird questions in class. And when assignment says, write a 10-page paper of research, but your team can also decide to create a short documentary video, an interactive website, or you can choose a really unconventional topic. And with the different types of your team member, your team will argue passionately about should we focus on data or personal stories? Is our approach too radical? And those debates makes your final product much stronger. You also can try to interviewing people on campus. If fails, no problem. Learn from the failure. Try online surveys instead, and the failed attempt taught you to something valuable.
So, what have you learned? The weird rules of creativity fundamentally challenge how we think about innovation. True breakthroughs require a deliberate break from conventional management. We must shift from seeking order to fostering dynamic environments. Environments that don't just allow, but actively encourage productive dissent and intellectual risk taking. This means valuing the people who challenge the status quo. It means seeing a failed experiment not as a loss, but as a vital step toward a future success. It's a commitment to protecting fragile, new ideas instead of bowing to early critics. And it's about understanding that the most predictable path rarely leads to the most original destination. In the end, the choice is ours. We can cling to the safe, known processes that guarantee mediocre results, or we can dare to be different. Let's choose to build, create, and innovate in a way that's truly making a difference. That's all from Group 3. Thank you for your attention, and we're open to any questions you may have.